Yeah, we're seeing, pretty unprecedented demand. I'm really seeing massive time savings. So company Lumen is a good example in their sort of reporting that on average 4 hours a week for every sales rep, which actually turns out to be about $50 million a year in cost savings. The companies that embrace AI, they're going to be the ones where they're going to attract the best talent, they're going to retain the best talent. This rapid pace of AI powered change, it's faster than anything that we've ever seen. Gone are the days where large enterprises can sort of wait and see. You will be at a competitive disadvantage if you don't understand how to both embed AI technology into your employee base to make them productive, but also into the products that you're building.
Welcome to Dublin.
Thanks for having me.
You got the lovely weather as well, which is fantastic.
It's been amazing.
So bright now, really feel like spring's in the air. Tell me a little bit about some of the work and trends you're seeing in the world of AI startups at the moment.
Sure.
And particularly the whole responsible way to do a startup with the innovation and just being more kind of cognizant of doing the right thing.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. Really kind of two key trends that I think we're seeing. One is startups are thinking about responsible AI and thinking about, how to build responsible products kind of from day one. I think, here at Microsoft, responsible AI is very important to us, and we sort of abide by these key principles around transparency and inclusivity and fairness. And so it's been great to see this adoption within the startups. And so, we're seeing that this sort of crop up of these types of startups. A good example would be a company called Bria. They were actually started in 2022, and this was when sort of text-to-image models were becoming, very popular, which is fine for the average consumer, but for a large enterprise customer or enterprise, a company, you have to make sure that these images that are being created are legal and there's no copyright issues. And so Bria came up with their own proprietary model that was trained on all licensed data. And so responsibility was sort of at the forefront of the part that we're building so that organizations could have beautiful images, text to image, but they knew that they were doing so responsibly and securely. So that's kind of trend number one, is just we're seeing lots of startups understand the needs of large enterprises and build that responsibility, security, privacy, all of that into their products. I think the second thing we're seeing with AI startups right now is they are not just building AI into their products, they're building it into the fabric of the entire organization, right? Every workflow, every function, every process from day one. So everything from, creating marketing copy and running marketing campaigns, optimizing SEO, all G&A functions, HR, legal, accounting, all through the product development process. And so what you're seeing is these, sort of AI native startups, they can grow really fast. And they also could do so very efficiently. And so they're going from, $0 to $20 million in ARR in 3 months, and they're doing so with a handful of people. So those are some of the two trends.
Yeah, because I'm seeing it too, because AI isn't the icing on the cake. AI is the ingredients. Right. That's the flour of the cake.
That's right.
And so you've kind of got those 5 Ps: people, process, product, place that's safe and secure, but then also kind of that proprietary data.
Right.
So you're leveraging those insights to say, well, actually, let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's get it right and then build on top of that. And some of those kind of stories from kind of 0, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, everyone talked about kind of OpenAI, ChatGPT, 6 months, or 2 months, 100 million users. But that's also, people are now taking 6 months, 12 months faster, where we can now reimagine that. So from a kind of multinational, large kind of corporations and kind of startups, what kind of collaborations or innovations that are happening that you're seeing that's kind of exciting?
Yeah. So one of the things that is exciting but also a challenge for large organizations is this rapid pace of AI powered change. It's faster than anything that we've ever seen. And gone are the days where large enterprises can sort of wait and see. I think there's pressure from boards, there's pressure from the market, from customers. They sort of have to keep up. The challenge is they also have to figure out how do they do that responsibly and securely. And so what we're seeing the best companies do is kind of balance this need by partnering with startups, and specifically startups who are built on tech stacks coming from, folks like Microsoft and Microsoft Azure, where they know that they're building on top of a, secure, safe, responsible platform, and filling in the gaps in their stack through this kind of better together story.
Please give me 30 seconds of your time. It blows my mind that only 9% of listeners actually subscribe to our podcast. I'm going to ask you one favor. If you like and enjoy this podcast, please can you subscribe? That one thing will really, really help us in the team get you the very, very best guests. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today's episode.
And what's really important there is the startups need a use case, and they ideally want to have a large multinational or a large company that they can reference, that people know are a trusted brand. And as you said, the large companies need to have that kind of top of the spear where they've got that innovation that they can trust and collaborate with and bring them together. And for a lot of companies, I think there's probably in excess of 150,000 AI products or service companies out there. So where do you start?
Yep.
So trying to get those trusted relationships and kind of bring together. But it does have challenges, right? Because you're trying to pick the right partners and it's moving so fast. But then you also have the challenge of you want to do the right thing, but you're looking at your competitors. You're looking at some people that are moving so fast. Where does the confidence come to do the right thing while also keeping your stakeholders, at bay to show that you're truly innovating, but you're doing it in a way that's going to build trust?
Yeah, it's complicated, right? So that's a lot of what we do at Microsoft for Startups within Microsoft. So we partner with, thousands and hundreds of thousands of startups who can come and get access to all of our great technology benefits, so up to $150,000 worth of Azure credits, discounted licenses on first and third party tools, access to expert network and sort of support and guidance. But then we also have a program called Pegasus, where we work with high potential startups that were sort of sourced to us through partnerships we have with some of the leading investors. And they give us the signal that this is a high potential startup, they're generating revenue, they're getting traction, then we vet them, and then we help them build on top of our platform. So you now have sort of a signal from the market that this company's, headed in the right direction, and then we know that they're trusted in terms of how they're built, and then we matchmake with our large enterprise customers. So a great example is Unilever, who, massive multinational organization serving 3.4 billion customers around the world, and one of the startups in our program called Holistic AI. So Holistic AI builds sort of an end-to-end governance platform for AI. And when Unilever was sort of having this pressure that you're mentioning, saying, how are we going to keep up with this innovation? They now partner with Holistic to help them make sure that they're auditing all of the AI tools that they have, within the organization, that they have control, they have an understanding of what's being used, and they can actually put policies into place to sort of govern it. So it's a great example of like a better together story.
But also it's priceless, because you're having that kind of vetted situation where you can now know that this is a referral, that you can actually kind of guard down a bit and kind of get ready to actually create the magic.
That's right.
So 70% of Fortune 500 companies are using Microsoft Copilot-esque. What are you seeing in terms of interesting workflows or interesting usage for companies that maybe do more with less?
Sure. Yeah, we're seeing pretty unprecedented demand. It's Copilot is the most sort of like a highly adopted of the Microsoft 365 suite of products that we've offered. And we're really seeing massive time savings. So company Lumen is a good example. They're using it for a sales use case, and they're sort of reporting that on average 4 hours a week for every sales rep, which actually turns out to be about $50 million a year in cost savings. The sort of Bank of Queensland Group, they're reporting that 70% of their employees are saving 2.5 to 5 hours a week. And then specifically, there's a sort of a risk audit workflow that they took down from a week down to 1 day. So you're just seeing this incredible time savings and giving people back, the opportunity to go work on more strategic, more creative, more fulfilling work through leveraging Copilot.
And even when you mentioned 2.5 or maybe 5 hours a week, that's the difference between sitting down on a Friday with your better half, having a glass of wine, rather than actually, or logging in over the weekend where you don't have to do that. So these little behaviors that maybe you've created before utilizing the tools, you can start to eliminate them. And I firmly believe that people come to work to actually do their best work. But having the tools to enable that is so empowering. But I also think it's a really, really good way to build self-esteem, to allow you to be more human-centric in the work that you do. Are you noticing anything between kind of employee fulfillment or engagement with the tools they use versus maybe when they weren't using those tools?
Yeah, I think it's actually a really important talent acquisition and talent retention, tool. The companies that embrace AI and get the latest and greatest and the best technology for their employees, they're going to be the ones where they're going to attract the best talent, they're going to retain the best talent, because those employees are going to want to stick around and be able to have the couple hours a week that they have back to either work on their most creative work or have more time with their family and doing the things that they love and enjoy.
Yeah. What advice would you offer to companies going on this journey, but maybe they're a little bit hesitant, life's getting in the way, but they want to get started, but not quite there yet?
Yeah, I think the reality is it's happening, and I think that you will be at a competitive disadvantage if you don't figure out how to very quickly and rapidly understand how to both embed AI technology into your employee base to make them productive, but also into the products that you're building. And so I think you can start as small as something like Copilot that's out of the box, available for every employee to be more productive, to save hours, a week. And then you can go as advanced as leveraging our AI platform and our tooling to actually create and build your own AI applications. So I think the beauty of what we're trying to do here is offer a menu, the easiest, most out of the box solution all the way to the most customizable, most powerful, and again, all built on a very secure platform.
So I'm most excited about AI in healthcare, particularly about the opportunity for digital humans and as extension as a doctor. Is there any particular trends or areas that you're interested on a personal note that's kind of excites you for the future?
Healthcare is definitely one for me. I think, a couple reasons. I think one, just the amount of time and administrative time that you hear doctors and other healthcare professionals have to take away from patients that's just time that they could give back to, improving the patient experience, but also into understanding and how do we fight diseases and save lives. So I think there's a lot in healthcare that's really exciting to me as well.
Annie, thank you very much for your time today.
Of course, thank you.
Hello, my name is Mark Kelly, founder of AI Ireland. We're passionate about collaboration and sharing the incredible stories behind every AI journey. That's why we're always looking for guests to join our in-person AI Ireland podcast experience. If you're working on innovative AI projects or have a story that can inspire others, we want to hear from you. This is your chance to share your insights, experiences, and ideas with a really vibrant community that's as excited about AI as you are. So if you're ready to be part of this conversation and help shape the future of AI in Ireland, please get in touch today. We can't wait to collaborate with you. Thank you.